WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
And I could hear it coming across the field. I could hear something like a big rumble, like a locomotive.
Oh my gosh.
And unfortunately, Mother Nature played her wicked side this year.
Reports of several possible tornadoes in mid-Michigan impacting thousands of people. Trees split in half, cars stuck in flooded waters, roofs ripped off, a ton of damage. But for now, a sigh of relief as there are no reports of any serious injuries. The weather is our top story tonight at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. We have team coverage for you tonight, looking at all the hardest hit areas throughout mid-Michigan. But we start with the expertise of our meteorologists. David Young and Jim Geyer join us now with a survey of the damage.
What an incredible afternoon this was, Jim. Lots of severe weather warnings out there and damage as well. We'll start first with a recap of the storms as they move through. The thunderstorms, they began to erupt just after noon, and by around 4 or 5 o'clock, there they go in that particular cell near Charlotte. That tracked right over Lansing and produced several funnel clouds in the area. It continued to progress east, and by 8 o'clock, things were improving quite a bit. Here's another way to look at this. This is our rotation tracker, and take a look. This is really interesting. Now notice as the clock rolls along, 4 or 5 o'clock, there's the rotation as it made its way into central mid-Michigan and passed right over southeastern sections of the city of Lansing. Fortunately, no reports of any tornado touchdowns. Then it began to push further east. Another interesting thing to look at is the warnings as they progress through time. We'll put this in motion. There was the first tornado warnings. Then by 5 o'clock, numerous tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. Then additional tornado warnings issued. Many counties in mid-Michigan seeing either severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings. Thankfully, though, now all the severe weather has been coming to an end. With all that rotation, though, it looked really interesting out there. Will they be confirmed tornadoes? We don't know, but Jim, the pictures sure looked pretty interesting.
They look so close to those tornadoes. What we at least had were some very ominous clouds, as you can see. This one here in Potterville, courtesy of Timothy Lugaby right now, and you can see how close that is to the ground. And we take a look right now as we take a look near Mason right now, and you can see in the distance, here's another one. It's getting oh so close to the ground. We go now to Eaton Rapids, and there in the distance, this very ominous cloud that is very, very close to the ground. And we also take a look courtesy of Jim Mott here. This one, oh, it is so close. You can see how close it is here to reaching the ground with this wall cloud here. Very close, very ominous. But I like this one, courtesy of Hannah Underhill. It's Vivian. She was listening because we mentioned that the kids and the helmets are really great protection during severe weather. And Blake Harms has some pictures of a lot of flooding in mid-Michigan.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. It became apparent rather quickly that we saw quite a few shots of damage here across much of mid-Michigan. And as we, here's the first shot. This is Williamson Road east of Mason, courtesy of Sherry Clark. Look at that water rushing over the road. By the way, never a good idea to drive over a roadway where water is rushing over it. This is in South Lansing, courtesy of Jessica. You can see the water ponding up in the subdivisions all over the place. Here's from Mason area. Look at the water literally coming out of the drains. That's how much water we had. Several inches of rain fell in mid-Michigan in a very short amount of time. How about this one in East Lansing from Monica all the way up to the deck stairs. So it was very apparent across mid-Michigan that this amount of rain in this short period of time was going to lead to some flooding. There are rain totals from the past 24 hours, nearly 3 inches of rain here in Lansing. So, you know, compared to when you factor in all the rain we got over the last few days, it's easy to see how flooding would be possible here in mid-Michigan.
Absolutely incredible coverage that you gave us today. Thanks for helping us keep everybody safe. All right, Blake. And because of the torrential rain and winds, there's been widespread flooding, as you just saw, across the state and right here in mid-Michigan. Many roads are blocked off because they're just impassable. We're going to take you now live to South Pennsylvania in Lansing, where that road is barricaded there so no one can drive through it. Kaylee, what can you tell?
Sherry, I think I jinxed it because just a few minutes ago I said that it wasn't raining, but now it is. Just light sprinkle, thankfully. But some roads are still closed off. We're on South Pennsylvania Avenue by Potter Park Zoo. except really no flooded roadways, except if you take a look down there, it does look like a car might have been stuck there earlier in the water, but it looks like the water is gone from here. The road, however, is still closed. But take a look at some of these videos we got earlier, some of these flood videos from around mid-Michigan, from water rushing across streets in Williamston to flooded suburban streets in Lansing. No one could avoid this heavy rainfall. Sidewalks, streets, driveways, pretty much everything you could think of. We've gotten hundreds of pictures and videos from viewers showing the significant flooding across mid-Michigan. Rescue officials are urging people not to drive through flooded streets. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, has reported that the #1 cause of fatalities in floods is people trying to drive through flooded areas. We did just have a couple drivers come through here. They said they've been looking for areas that are still flooded, and everything has kind of leveled out, except Aurelius Road is still closed. So if you plan on taking that, just take note of that. We're going to keep you updated on the flooding here in mid-Michigan, online and on air throughout the night and tomorrow morning. Here for you live in Lansing, Kaylee Marintet, 6 News.
Thank you, Kaylee. Well, today's heavy storms caused multiple power outages. Right now, let's take a look at the current outages happening in our area. And according to Consumers Energy, about 6,000 people are without power right now. There are about 260 outages, with the majority of them south of Jackson tonight. And tonight, there's not just damage from possible tornadoes. A lot of people are dealing with scenes like this one. Our viewers sent 6 News this video of flooded streets in Charlotte. You can see that the water levels are rising and completely covering roads there. Well, today's destructive weather wreaked havoc across mid-Michigan. Several homes in Lake Odessa were damaged, and the town's annual fair had to be shut down. 6 News reporter Yamari Sisse was there, and she joins us now with more.
Sherry, there was a lot of destruction in Lake Odessa, which is located about half an hour west of Lansing. Take a look at one of the photos that we received from viewers. As you can see, this barn was heavily damaged, and there's a lot of debris around the farm. Tonight, people say the emphasis was on keeping neighbors safe.
I'm thinking, holy, what am I going to do? And I got up and looked out the window, and I knew something wasn't right. So I started getting really shaky.
Ted Thompson lives in one of the many homes that was damaged in Lake Odessa. He says it was a storm that he won't soon forget.
I heard it coming across the field, sounded like a big freight train, just a big locomotive, and all of a sudden it just broke loose. I mean, there was no matter of seconds, and it was here.
A tree landed on his parents' brand new truck. Thompson says his only concern was his parents' safety.
My biggest thing was to take care of my parents, and that was my main thing. Their safety before mine.
Another home in Lake Odessa was severely damaged by the possible tornado. Neighbors say the homeowner was out when she got a phone call that her house had been hit by the storm. And now the entire garage is gone. Also today, visitors to the Lake Odessa Fair had to be shuttled from the parking lot because it was flooded.
And it was working out just fine, but the weather just kept coming on, just like it has for the last 3 days, and it's just been a battle ever since.
When the weather got to be more than they can handle, they escorted guests out of the park to safety.
It just came out of nowhere. Very straight line winds, very powerful winds. Blew over, snapped some flagpoles off, and blew a couple trailers off the blocks, moved them about 2 feet off their location. So it was quite scary for a few employees as well as customers that were here.
Think everybody's all right. And everybody else out there that's had the same issue tonight, I hope they're all safe and sound. So.
Again, so far there are no reports of any injuries, and we'll keep you updated as much as possible on the tornadoes on air, online, and on our 6 News app. Back to you, Sherry.
Yeah, Marie, thank you. Meanwhile, in West Michigan, possible tornadoes also caused major damage in Mecosta County. Take a look at the fallout from a busy weather day there. Here's some of our video from our sister station, Wood TV. You can see a lot of downed trees and debris. Neighbors say that barns and cars were crushed by falling trees. Thankfully, no injuries are reported at this time. Now, in the Motor City, heavy rainfall overnight has resulted in widespread street flooding and power outages there. Highways are even flooded, multiple homes are damaged, and thousands of people are without power. Emergency crews are warning people to avoid driving through any flooded streets. 2 to 4 inches of rain fell yesterday, and the city got at least another 1 to 2 more inches today. Michigan State Police say they're asking drivers to use extreme caution when driving through Oakland and Macomb counties. Officials are recommending everyone to avoid the freeways in Wayne County. Now, in response to the intense rainfall there, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has issued a state of emergency in Wayne County. This means that all state resources have been made available to help local recovery efforts in that impacted area. More rain is expected throughout the rest of the weekend, and conditions change. More areas could be added to the state of emergency.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, just to put this in perspective, this was our most active severe weather day since probably 2007. Remember that year? Potterville and Williamston both hit by tornadoes, destructive tornadoes. Now, though, we can shift away from severe weather, but we still have some flooding concerns. Take a look at our 5-day rainfall forecast, and we're still talking about 1 to 2 inches, maybe 2 or 3 inches of rain over the next 5 days in areas that have already been inundated with very heavy rainfall. We break it down for you day by day. Certainly tomorrow, good chance of rain, showers and storms once again. As we move into Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, although the rain chances are a little bit lower, I think there'll still be some significant rain around the area, so we're not done by far with rain. We check out the Skyview Network in St. John's tonight. Check out some of the rainfall totals. 1.51 inches today, and that's on top of several inches falling over the past several days. 74 the current temperature. Cool enough now we've really lost some of the energy for thunderstorms, and that's good news. Here's the WLNS tower cam. 1.62 here at the station. That was causing some major problems with flooding out there this evening. 72 degrees is our current temperature after a high today of 80. In Grand Ledge, 71 the current temperature. Over 2 inches of rainfall today. Extremely heavy out there. High was 76. Morning low, pretty warm as well, 67 degrees. On the Jackson cam, the showers managing to dodge the rain gauge, 0.06 of an inch. That's one of the lower numbers around the entire area. Current temperature 72 degrees because you had just down the road into Hillsdale, and we're at 70 with 0.85 of an inch of rainfall so far today. Other numbers, again, we've lost some of the fuel for thunderstorms. We're now in the low 70s. The thunderstorms love those 80s this afternoon. That really helped to invigorate those storms and cause the severe weather. What's left, the showers and storms are now pressing east. As we zoom out, you can see a little more rain to our west. So as I said, we're not done with rain and maybe severe weather. Tomorrow, a marginal risk of some strong to severe storms. And if we did see any severe weather, my only real concern is going to be some gusty winds and, of course, some heavy rainfall. That's always a possibility as well. We look at precision cast for tonight. Low pressure slips east. Our severe weather indices tomorrow morning fairly low. As we move through tomorrow afternoon, there it is. Damaging winds, the only real threat that we're going to contend with. And there occasionally could be some bursts of heavier rainfall. Moving into Sunday night and into Monday, the severe weather risk levels remain very low, although we may see a few more showers beginning to pop up by Monday afternoon. Here's tonight's forecast then. Showers and storms possible, low temperature 71 degrees. Moving into Sunday, you guessed it, more showers, more thunderstorms are possible. Radar still very active in eastern counties, so watch out for some additional ponding on the roadways. The 6th day, 83 for tomorrow and Monday, low to mid 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But the important thing is, there's rain showers each and every day. Into next weekend, things begin to dry out. Cross your fingers because we desperately need, I can't believe this, after a drought conditions, we need some dry weather.
We absolutely do. Came fast and furious.
It did.
All right. Thanks for your expertise, David. Well, for more weather insight, we invite you to join 6 News for Surviving the Storm, a Storm Tracker 6 special. It's airing on WLNS Tuesday at 7 p.m. and on WLAJ Wednesday at 7. The 6 News weather team will bring you all the information that you need to know to keep your family safe during severe weather season. Well, rescuers are searching for signs of life among the rubble of a collapsed building in Florida. And tonight, crews are battling weather and now a fire. More on the search efforts coming up. Stay tuned. 6 News at 11. We'll be right back. A 19-year-old from Lansing has died near St. Clair Metro Park in the Detroit area after taking a boat out for the annual Jobby Nooner party on Gull Island yesterday. That's according to our fellow ABC affiliate in Detroit. Macomb County Sheriff's officials tell us that they got a call about someone yelling for help in the water. When responders arrived, they found a 22-year-old who said he and the 19-year-old took an aluminum bass boat out to Jobby Nooner. And around 4:30, when they tried to return to shore, the boat started to sink. The 19-year-old who died has been identified as Ezekiel Alamin. He was found still wearing his life jacket. Rescuers are battling against time, weather, and now fire at the scene of the deadly condo collapse in Surfside, Florida. 4 deaths have been confirmed and 159 people are still unaccounted for. CBS News correspondent Manuel Bojorquez reports from Surfside.
A fire beneath the rubble of the collapsed Surfside condo building is hampering rescue efforts.
It's a very deep fire. It's extremely difficult to locate the source of the fire.
On day 3 of the aftermath of the collapse, Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says finding survivors remains the focus.
Our top priority now continues to be search and rescue. We're looking for people alive in the rubble. That is our priority, and our teams have not stopped.
Rescuers deployed infrared technology, water and foam to fight the fire, with the blaze's source not clear on Saturday.
As we're moving debris, as the smoke is increasing, we still haven't come across anything along the sign of life.
While search and rescue efforts continue, people are visiting this makeshift memorial, where many flyers with those missing also include prayers. Among those who are unaccounted for, Ilan Nabrief and Deborah Berizdivine, both just 21 years old. Ilan's parents say the couple was in town for a funeral.
He slept there just to be closer to the funeral the day after.
As investigators work to determine what caused the collapse, an engineer's report from 2018 found abundant cracking in concrete columns, beams, and walls in the building's parking garage, and major structural damage to a concrete structural slab caused by failed waterproofing. The report indicated if not repaired in a timely fashion, it would cause the concrete to deteriorate exponentially. But the report did not indicate those issues could lead to a collapse. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Surfside, Florida.
Coming up on 6 News at 11, a deadly accident involving a hot air balloon. What authorities in New Mexico are saying tonight about the victims. But first, let's take a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers. New Mexico's governor is offering her condolences tonight after a horrific hot air balloon crash that killed everyone on board. Elise Preston has the details.
Neighbors in Albuquerque, New Mexico woke to this harrowing image. A charred hot air balloon basket plummeting more than 80 feet after it crashed into a power line and caught fire. Pieces of debris were found about a mile away.
We didn't know what was going on with that.
Alston Council was getting ready for work when he heard an unexpected commotion.
The scariest thing was the balloon was there, but there was no basket, no people. We were all just searching for the basket, looking for the people.
Everyone on board was killed. 4 people died at the scene. A 5th died at the hospital. Meanwhile, federal investigators are searching the area, piecing together what happened. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Coming up after the break, our Nick Mantis will join us with a look at sports. Thanks for watching 6 News at 11.
This is the 6 Sports Desk.
Well, there are plenty of things that could put a damper on the Detroit Tigers, but the weather has been the main opponent for not just the Tigers, but for most of the sports world the past couple of days. As the Tigers-Astros game was postponed yesterday, today's doubleheader was a chance to make things up while, fingers crossed, getting to play both games. We pick things up in the bottom of the second. Runner on the corners for East Sock Paredes, who pops one into right. That'll be a routine catch for Daz Cameron, who tags up and comes home and giving the Tigers a 1-0 lead. And that wasn't the last we'd hear from Daz. Bottom of the fourth in a 1-1 game. This one is hit straight at him. Back, and he makes an angle and makes the catch. And that one get out of the inning. Starting pitcher Casey Mize appreciated the effort. And it was the young guys show this afternoon. Zach Short called up for the doubleheader, looking to make an impact. How about hitting your first career home run as the way to make a statement? The Tigers would go on to win it 3-1. Now, Zach, were you conscious during that home run trot, or did you just black out?
Definitely blacked out. I mean, the first ball I hit, I hit it pretty well, and I thought I was going to get cut up by the wind, and, kind of hung up there for a little bit. The center fielder was kind of, drifting, expecting it to get held up, and it didn't. So when I hit the second one, I hit it pretty well off the bat, but, I usually, especially for home runs, I really rarely go opposite field. So, when I hit it, it was the right angle to at least beat a gapper, and, I was rounding first, and I saw Tucker, jump. I was just hoping that, that the pretty big wall over there was high enough.
As for the second game of the doubleheader, the Tigers had the Astros on the ropes, but Houston scored 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning to snatch the victory. The last game of this series is tomorrow. First pitch is set for 1:10 p.m. Well, tonight on the pitch, the weather put a damper on the Lansing Commons' original plan for its final Saturday in June. Tonight was supposed to be a festive Pride night, but that has been pushed back to a later date. Now, known weather fans were in attendance tonight to see the Robins take on BIH Grand Rapids. After an hour-and-a-half rain delay, it was Grand Rapids who rained on the parade in the 12th minute. Chris Mendez splits the defender and the goalie for the first goal of the game. Then not even 3 minutes later, Aiden O'Connor uses his head to find the back of the net as the Robins draw even at 1. In the second half, Common took a 2-1 lead and then went back to their heads. This time it's the captain, an East Lansing graduate, Julian Burge, who strikes gold. Lansing Common pick up the 3-point lead with over 3 points with the 3-2 win. So Julian, what did you think of the way the team responded after giving up that first goal?
It was nice to keep our heads up and get one right back, because that was really important. I mean, Aiden's huge. He's a monster in there, so he just put it up there and he buried it. Getting 3 goals is really big. We're capable of scoring that many, and we didn't have as many last weekend, so it was nice to get back on the board a few times.
Now to the NBA for another local athlete. The Eastern Conference Finals saw the former Spartan Bryn Forbes and his Milwaukee Bucks catch fire in Game 2 against the Atlanta Hawks. For Forbes, he found his range early. Straight on threes are money for thee. Forbes finished with 8 points as the Bucks would respond in a beatdown of hocus proportions. The final score was 125-91. And as for Forbes, before the Game 2, he warned what could happen if the Hawks defense let him stay open. Take a listen.
I think for me, it's just like, if you're not going to be locked in on me and paying attention, then I want to make you pay. You know, so that's my main thought is, you know, if you're not going to be locked in, I'm going to make you pay. So
we'll be right back with a final look at your forecast. Stay with us.
Well, weather-wise, I think we're done with strong to severe storms tonight, but tomorrow there could be a few more. So if there are storms around the area, don't forget your Storm Tracker 6 weather app, because it's got interactive radar, and if you had it tonight, you got all those watches and warnings that were coming out for your area, as well as our lightning tracker. Very handy device during severe weather. The 6-day forecast, more showers and storms, maybe some strong storms tomorrow into next week as well. And I just want to say thanks to my weather team tonight. Got Jim and Blake here, and Blake, the new guy, did a great job this evening. Jim and I are the old guys here. But it was great having everybody in house, and I just thought these guys did an outstanding job
They
tonight.
absolutely did, and our viewers really appreciate it as well, as did we.
Yes.
So,
Thank you. Yes.
Kudos to you.
Great job, guys.
Well, thanks everybody for staying up late with us. Please stay safe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.